Hello everyone, today we are going to make some birria tacos. I will have all of the ingredients listed down below in the description box, but for now let's get into it. We are going to start off with some thyme. Here I'm just removing the leaves from the stems. Then you will need one whole yellow onion. As I'm cutting this, I'm not cutting in any particular way because it will all end up in the blender anyway. So I'm just gonna make sure that it just is in small enough pieces to fit in the blender. You'll also need one bell pepper or one pointed pepper. Again, I'm not cutting it in any way, just trying to cut it into little chunks so that it fits into that blender. You will also need about 16 dried chilies, and you're going to soak it in some warm or hot water so it will soften. You will also need about 5 to 6 chili peppers. Please make sure to wear gloves because if you happen to touch your eyes, it's really not a great time. So don't say I didn't warn you. Please be careful with these chilies. Now after I'm done cutting all the chilies, I am just gonna put everything into the same bowl that I had the dried chilies in because I will end up blending everything together later. We'll set that on the side, and now I'm just chopping down the thyme. You also need one beef shank, and here we're just going to season it with salt and pepper. And the thyme. I'm also going to cut it in half so that it's easier to work with on the pan. I'm just going to sear it lightly. I'm not trying to cook it thoroughly on the pan. I'm just trying to get the flavor out of the beef. So while that's searing on the pan, we're going to move on to the broth or the sauce. I'm putting everything that I had in that bowl that we set aside earlier and blending it all together. Blend. Alright, now we have more room. Now we're just gonna put the rest of the chilies and onions. Now we're going to take a bowl and a strainer. I'm going to strain the sauce that we just made because we only want the liquid from it. Here we are, and then we're just going to move it about so we can get as much liquid from it as much as possible. Now we're moving on to the crock pot. We're gonna bust out the crock pot, and I'm gonna layer it with some onions because I don't want my beef to burn just in case. So I'm layering some chopped yellow onions and putting in the meat and some of the sauce for the flavor, and putting a couple stems of the thyme. We're putting in that sauce, and then maybe about a cup of water because we'll make sure that we want to dilute the sauce because it could be quite spicy and very condensed. Here we are plugging it in, and then we were going to want it on high for 4 hours. Oh, sorry, a little shaky. Here we are. This is actually the next day that after it's already cooled down. So we're gonna start with a clean cutting board. And we're gonna use this cutting board. We're gonna use it to shred our beef with 2 forks. Use whatever you have. If you have those shredder tools, that's awesome, but I don't really have that. I'm just gonna use 2 forks and shred the beef, put it back into the pot, and shred the other piece. This is a good time to actually add some salt and pepper because I don't think I added enough the first time when I salt and peppered the beef. And back into the pot. So now I have the birria meat on that in the corner right there in the other side of the pot. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to dip the tortilla into the sauce of the tacos and then put it onto the pan. Oh, be careful. I think the pan is quite hot, so once I put it on, the oil just splattered everywhere, so please be careful. So I'm gonna add the beef, adding some mozzarella cheese onto here as well. Small diced red onions and cilantro. Perfect. Now we can fold. Since I had too much oil on the pan, it was quite hard to fold. So I just decided that it was just safer to take it off the pan and then fold it on the plate instead. Alright, one more time. This one is actually for my fiance. He doesn't like any vegetables, so we're just gonna do beef and cheese. It's basically like a cheese quesadilla, but with shredded beef. And there you have it. You have your perfect birria tacos that you almost lost your arm for. But it's okay. No one knows what you went through for this. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my channel. I had so much fun doing this. I hope you liked the video, comment, and subscribe.